This video is for Knowledge Organiser 7 for Year 10 Foundation classes. What I'd like you to do is read the Knowledge Organiser, watch this video and use it to work through the examples on page 1 of that Knowledge Organiser, then try the questions from page 2 and any Maths Watch work set for you by your class teacher. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look at working out the surface area of a cylinder, and we're going to look at working out this problem here. To do that, first though, we're going to look at the general formula for a cylinder. So if we have a look at this here, notice I said surface area. Yesterday you did finding the volume, which was what is inside the shape. This time we're going to be finding the surface area, which is what the area of all of the sides are. Now if you imagine I've got a cylinder here, it's got a radius of R and a height of H. If I break that down into a net, I have two circles on the end, and when I unroll that curved side, I get a rectangle. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a general formula of how we could work out the surface area by adding these together. So, I'll start off with actually the easy parts, and the easy parts are the circles. If each of these have a radius of R, our area of that circle would be pi r squared. Now, to work out the area of this rectangle, we have to do height times by length. Now, we have to think about what that length would be. And to do that, we think about what that rectangle, when it's curled up to give you a cylinder, what that curved side looks like. And actually, if we have a look at here, that curved side goes all the way around the outside of a circle, and that curved side would be our circumference. So we would say that the length is pi d, or 2 pi r. Now I know in previous videos I said that I prefer to use pi d, and you can if you want, but I like to use radius in this because we're using radius in circles, and it means that we've got one less letter in our formula. So if we were to work out the total surface area of this cylinder, we've got two circles, so that's two lots of pi r squared that we have to add together. And if we have a look at what the total area of this rectangle is, it's the length, which is we're going to use as this. So we've got 2 pi r, and it's times by its width, which happens to be height. And I can write that as 2 pi r h. So my general formula I can use is this here. Now, I'm going to show you two different ways of working out the surface area of a cylinder for the next problem. But the easiest way is to use the formula. But if you can't remember to use the formula, do the process which I've just done here and break down each one. So, if we have a look at the problem here, okay? Our general formula that I've just wrote down is, I'm just going to straighten that up, surface area equals pi r squared, add 2 pi r h. Now looking at this diagram here, we've got that r equals 2 and h equals 8. And that's, I said that was 2 pi r squared. So our surface area would be 2 times pi times 2 squared, add 2 times pi times 2 times by 8. And if I put that into a calculator and I round it to one decimal place, what comes out is 125.7 centimeters squared to one decimal place. Now, not all of you would prefer to do it that way. So the other way we can do this is to work out the area of each of these. So I'm going to list that as 1, 2, and I'm going to do 3. Then I'm going to add these together. So 1 and 2 are both circles. So the area of that is pi times 2 squared. That gives me 12.566, and it goes on forever. Now 3, as I said, you need to work out that length. So that length is 2 times pi times my radius, which is 2, and that gives me 4 pi. Okay, you can round that if you want, or you can write that as a decimal. I've just left that as 4 pi because I'm going to use that in my calculation for 3, which is 8 times by 4 pi. And that's going to give me 100.530. So, doing it this way, my surface area is my area for the first one, which is this, add together my area for my second circle, which is that, and my area for my rectangle, which is that. And again, it gives me that. It's up to you which method you prefer to use. Some students may prefer to use the formula and just substitute in. Some students may prefer to break it down and work out each individual shape. That's up to you. Every time you break down a cylinder, you will get this net here. So that's not going to change shape by shape. Okay? Complete the questions on page 2 and complete any work set on Maths Watch. Thank you.